Welcome to this first tutorial for different version of a Greenfoot crab game. My name is Mr. Gauvin, and this screencast is for my sixth form students. We are going to create a game where we're playing the frog by controlling it with the arrow keys on the keyboard. The snake is trying to eat the frog. The frog wants to eat some strawberries, and the frog can drop a lemon to try to poison the snake. If I click run, oh, I've already died, so reset the game. Right, now that there's a little bit of distance between me and the snake, and try to show you, my lemon has actually killed the snake. Perfect. Right, I've got another version of the game here with a bigger world and no code. So let's start with the frog. Right click to open the editor for the frog. As you can see, there's nothing in here in my act method. So let's try to add some code. First thing I want the frog to do is to move. I'm going to call the move method that is inherited from the actor parent class. Let's say move 4. And then we're going to check if there's a key pressed on the keyboard. So for this we need a call to the Greenfoot module. Now we're going to use the is key down method. As a parameter we type the name of the key. So if, I forgot to put the if Greenfoot is key down left, and I need to close this brackets I've just added and open some curly bracket and call to the turn method from the actor class. To turn left we need a negative number, so 5 degrees will be enough. And let's close this bracket. I need to use this code again for the right turn, so change left to right, and -5 to 5 degrees. Compile. Method Greenfoot is a little bit lost. Oh, it's because I should not be placing some brackets for the call to Greenfoot, so I remove them. Right, let's compile. It's happy. I'm also going to use, I can't see it's off the screen, the auto layout. So it's tidy up my layout, and now it's putting my act method and then the if, and puts them into these nice colored boxes to help me see that my code is alright. So it's compiled, it's okay. Let's go to the game, run it. Alright, so I've got control of my frog, but right now the frog does not eat anything. So to get the frog to remove the strawberries when it goes over, we're going to use a slightly different method than one I showed in other tutorial. We're going to use the remove touching method, and what we want to remove is an object from the class food. So the name of the class is food, and to make sure it's understood as a class, not an object, use the keyword class. Remove touching food class should do the trick. Here we go, our frog can now eat. Perfect. Now we're going to do the code for the enemy. So same thing, we want the enemy to move 4. we want the enemy to eat the frog. Touching, and this time it's class frog that I want to remove. And then if we reach the edge, we want to turn. So let's check if we're at edge, and that simply is at edge. And then when this happens, we're going to turn, let's say 30 degrees. Okay. So oh, I'm off the screen. Right. I suppose this, my screen is a little bit too big, so I'm going to shrink it. Open editor for, let's show you what I'm doing there. So I'm dragging this into this screen. My world is a little bit too big, so I'm going to shrink it from 1000, let's say 650 should do it. Oh, that's too much. Compile. Right, and then okay, let's run it again. So my snake does turn, and my snake can eat the frog. Excellent. Now what I would like to do is to get the snake to aim for the frog. So let's go back to the code for the snake. And then we're going to add something here. What we want is the snake to turn at random if it's away from the frog, or to aim for the frog if he can sense the frog. So first let's do a little if test to see if we can see the frog. We're going to use a method, just so you know where this method comes from. If I right click on actor to open the documentation and bring it over the screencast screen, here we are. So I'm looking at actor. Now the one I want is object in range. Get object in range. Returns all the object within the radius that I give as a parameter to this method. So, however, this is a Java list. So I'm going to have to do something quite interesting with this. Let's grab our enemy. So if get object in range, so let's give it a range of 100 pixels, and the object we're looking for is of a frog class. Now this is a list, which is a special class in Java, type of object, and when we're going to import the lists, and we'll have access to this method. If get object is empty, frog class is empty. Oh, I forgot the dot. Is empty, and then I close the bracket for my if call. So right now this is the condition for when we cannot sense the frog. So if we can't sense the frog, we're too far away from it, let's use a random number to give us a percentage chance to do a turn. If Greenfoot get random number. So I'm going to get a random number of between 0 and 100, and to give us a 5% chance, I'm going to check if that random number is less than 5, in which case I want to do a turn, and that turn is again going to be a random number. So I use the turn method, and as a parameter I call this get random number method. I'm going to get a random number between 0 and 90, and then I'm going to take away 45 degrees, which in a sense means that I'll be turning by a random number between minus 45 and plus 45 degrees. So not a complete U-turn, but just a nice change of direction. So we got this, and then I close this bracket, else and this is where I want to aim for the frog. So this code that I'm going to write now, this is a code that will be executed when there is a frog within 100 pixels of the snake. Let's create an actor. We'll call it F because we know it's going to be a frog, and that actor is going to be we're going to get a handle of our frog by using the same getObjectInRange code. Now we want to force this object to be an actor, so we're going to put actor in bracket, and then we write the call to the getObjectInRange method. So our range is still 100 pixels, and we are looking for a frog. Now getObjectInRange returns a list, and there's only one frog in our game, so we know that the first item in this list is going to be our frog. But to get the first item of a list, we need to use the get method of list, and we pass it the index of the first item. And in lists, just like arrays, we start counting the number of items with index 0. So that's why I'm writing get 0. Now that I've got our frog, reference to the frog in this actor F, we can use the get X and get Y methods to point towards the coordinates of our frog. So our snake is going to turn towards what? Towards the frog. And the position, the coordinates of the frog are F, which is this object here, dot get X, and F dot get Y. There we are. If I compile this, I should be getting an error because it does not know that we're going to use the what's the name? It does not know we have not imported the list module. So let's import Java now. Let's compile it again. Oh, I've made a typo. Over here it says objects plural, and I forgot the S here, so it's not recognized my call to this method. Same error here. Right, let's see if this works. Reset. Oh, yes, it does point towards the frog, so this is working. Excellent. The last thing I want to do, I want to give the frog a chance to defend itself. So a frog is not going to shoot missiles at a snake, but let's pretend that the frog can leave little poisonous balls in its wake for the snake to swallow and die. So we're going to create a new subclass. Let me bring this into my screencast screen. Here we are. So our new class is going to be called Poison, and I need something that's food, that's a different color. I think the lemon is a good picture to use. Right, so I've got a poison. Now we need our poison to be able to get rid of a snake. So if I call the code for my frog, where is it? Is it up here? No, that's not this one. There's a frog. So let's copy the code to but maybe let's copy this one for now, and I'm going to put that into my poison. So let's bring this into the screencast screen. Here we go. And this time it's a snake, not a frog. Enemy is how I called it. Compile. Alright, so the lemon can now make the snake disappear, and what I want to do is to add some code into the frog to give the frog a chance to drop a lemon on the snake. So where's my frog? My frog is over here. Let's bring that up again. Alright. If I use Greenfoot is key down, every time it senses that the key is down, it's going to remove, it's going to add a lemon. So we end up with loads of lemon added every single time we touch the spacebar key. So instead, I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time. I'm going to use the get key method, which is activated when the key is released instead of when it's pressed down. But its syntax is a little bit different. So this is how it works. Again, I'm going to use the name of the key I'm looking for. I'm going to use the spacebar to drop a lemon, and I'm comparing this name with the name that the get key method gives us. So this is the name of the key on the keyboard. This will return the name of the key that is released, and that's the logical compare. The logical is the same as. And then when that happens, we are going to add a new lemon object, a poison object, to the world. To do this, we need to create this object first of class poison. And then we place this poison. To place it, we need to call the world. The world is the class that can actually add objects in our game, and the method we're using is add objects. The object we're adding is our poison we've just created, and the place where we hide it is the coordinates of our frog, which is get x and get y. Right, almost there. It's working. This is it. So we've got a game here with 4 different actors. The strawberries don't actually do anything. The strawberries, if I show you the code, there's no code in their act method. There it is. Let me drag it into the screen. That's empty. It's just there to be eaten. The lemon is able to kill the snake, so it's just one line of code as we've seen. The frog is controlled by the keyboard with the isKeyDown method and the getKey method. The difference is if we press the key continuously, the frog keeps turning, but if we press the spacebar key continuously, we only drop one lemon. And we've got the enemy, the snake, and the snake is able to aim for the frog and do a little bit of random moving. This is the end of this screencast, and we will be adding some score counting in the next one. Thank you.